Mr. President, Thomas Jefferson, one of our great presidents, once said, quote, "The end of democracy will occur when government falls into the hands of lending institutions and moneyed corporations." Campaign finance reforms, protections that we have in place and have had for many, many years have solved the problem that Jefferson talked about by limiting political spending by corporations. Then, out of nowhere, came the Supreme Court and issued its Citizens United opinion, rolling back a century of work to make elections transparent and credible. The result of Citizens United has been a flood of corporate special interest campaign spending by shadowy front-run groups with questionable motives. Not since the days of Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican who put a stop to unlimited corporate donations, has America seen this kind of out-of-control spending to influence elections. Democrats and a majority of Americans believe the Supreme Court got it very, very, very wrong with Citizens United. Anonymous spending by so-called nonprofits, often backed by huge corporate donors or a few wealthy individuals, used to make up 1% of election spending. This year, it'll make up well over half the spending. There's no question the Citizens United decision opened the door for big corporations and foreign entities to secretly spend hundreds of millions of dollars to influence elections, undermining the fairness and integrity of the process. Let's look at Nevada, Mr. President. Through the first part of this year, more money has been spent per capita on TV ads in Nevada than in any other state in the country. Most of the ads have been funded by anonymous groups, flush with cash from these huge oil interests, Wall Street moneyed interests, foreign gambling interests, and other industries seeking greater influence in Washington. Voters in Nevada and across the country deserve to know who paid for these ads. We've proven that it's possible to remove the veil of secrecy from outside money and make the process more transparent. The legislation today before the Senate, the DISCLOSE Act, would require disclosure of donations in excess of $10,000 if they're used for campaign purposes. The bill treats all political entities, whether unions, corporations, business associations, or super PACs, the same. They're treated equally. And contrary to Republican claims, this legislation would not require organizations to turn over membership rosters or a list of grassroots donors. That is foolishness. Rather, it would prevent corporations or wealthy individuals from using front groups to shield their donations from disclosure. Yet my Republican colleagues, with rare exception, have lined up against this common sense legislation. Their newfound opposition to transparency makes one wonder who they're trying to protect. Perhaps Republicans want to shield a handful of billionaires willing to contribute 9 figures to sway a close presidential election. Mr. President, if this flood of outside money continues, the day after the election, 17 angry old white men will wake up and realize they've just bought the country. That's a sad commentary. About 60% or more of these outside dollars are coming from these 17 people.